Hello and welcome back to my channel. The last video of 2021 is here and it is this New Year's Eve look. I created it with a palette that I got for Christmas, so if you would like to learn what I got for Christmas and how I created this look, then all you have to do is keep on watching. So I'm just going to start off with thanking my family for being so wonderful and getting me so many good presents. I could go through the whole bag with you guys. If you would like to see that on my channel, just let me know and I will definitely do that because I've got some wonderful things. But today I will be using one of my presents because it is a makeup palette. I got a Natasha Denona palette from my mom. In fact, I got two, but this is the one that I will be using today. And if you saw last week's video, I did put in the description box below that you could potentially use this palette as a dupe for the section in the Tati Beauty Texture Neutrals palette. So it's actually such a full circle moment that my mom actually got me this. I wanted to try out Natasha Denona's palettes for years and I finally got some to try out on my channel. The makeup look I'm creating today is very simple. It has easy steps and I think it'll look wonderful, like I imagine it to look wonderful. The easiest part is that I'm going to be using tape and I'm going to stick it sort of out towards my temple. You don't want to start from your very outer corner. If you stick it too close to your eye, it just looks a little bit wrong. And I'm going to prime with the ABH eye primer, but you don't want a lot of it. You don't need a lot of it. I use quite a fluffy brush to spread this out. And I'm going to start off with the shade called Gloom, the grey. I'm picking it on a fluffy brush. There's a little bit of kickback in the pan, but I did dab it several times. And I'm going to start off with my outer corner. And what I do is sort of line the brush with my lash line towards my tape. I'm essentially going to be making like, I've done looks like this before actually, so you've seen me do this before. We're kind of changing up the colour scheme a little bit. I'm essentially making almost like a liner look with this. I'm not gonna lie, this has stuck to the primer a lot and I feel like I struggle to blend it out to make it smoky, to have that control. It is very pigmented. It is quite nice, but I do wish it blended a little bit easier than it is at the moment. Maybe the primer was just ever so slightly too wet. So let's take Mist, the sort of lighter, almost it looks a little blue in the pan, honestly. It's not the lightest shade, it's the second lightest shade, and it definitely has like this bluey hue to it, and I'm putting it on the edges. This is actually quite a good look for people with hooded eyes because you're stretching that shade as far as you want it to stretch, you know. I feel like I need to rely on that lighter shade to blend this out. It's not blended as nicely as I would want it to be. So Gloom, the darker grey, is a little bit hard to blend. And now it is time for the blackest black. Let's see, Natasha. So far it's not picking up very well on the brush. It's quite hardly pressed, but maybe it is the blackest black I have ever had. Can tell you already, no it's not. Is it a nice black? At the moment, yes. It looks very nice. And I'm putting that black in the very outer corner, just kind of wriggling my brush back and forth So there's a concentration of black in that very outer corner there. To buff out this very edge there, where sort of my brow is going to be and stuff, I'm going to take the shade Puff, the lightest one, only a little bit, to help me blend. See that shade? I knew immediately when I picked it up that it was going to be quite a pigmented one. Again, I just feel like maybe this is just my first impression and I need to sort of learn how to work these shades, but this isn't the easiest palette to use. This is quite like it sticks to my base. Maybe the base is too sticky, that's absolutely fine. It could be my fault, but for the price, you know, you kind of want it to work with everything. I think now I need the sparkle, so I'm going to take the shade called Chromatic on my finger. Look how pretty it looks, like tinfoil, and I'm going to put it on the mobile lid and I'm pulling it up as I kind of rub it on my eye. And I'm going to take this shade, so the residue that's still on my finger, I'm pulling it all the way up to my brow. But now I just need to blend it a little bit more, so I'm going to take Gloom and blend it. So blend the edge where the two meet. Because we've done all this blending prior to it, it shouldn't take long, it shouldn't be hard. But that blackest black ain't all that black. I'm going to take my brush with a little bit of that shade and dampen it a little. It always helps with any black, just dampen it a little. Okay, let's see, let's reveal. Maybe a little too close to the edge of the eye, but it should be alright. Let me catch up with my other eye and then I will be right back to finish the rest of the look off. I have some thoughts. I'm going to tell you them at the end though. Now let's move on to the face. I'm going to be using pretty much the same stuff I was using last week because I love them. I'm going to start off with Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer Base because New Year's Eve equals looking good, and I highly recommend using this primer. I have used it twice this month, which is very unusual for me. Again, highly recommend not using it too often, especially if you're like myself and you suffer with acne. Overusing it will definitely cause that, whether you like it or not, whether you are washing your face very thoroughly or not. And like I did last week, I'm using one of my favourites, if not my favourite, Natural Radiant Longwear from NARS. I totally should have fake tanned, but that's okay, because it matches my neck more than it matches my face. Because I use acids on regular basis, the skin on my face is a lot paler than the rest of my body. Let's do cream bronzer, because I can't live with cream bronzer, and that's what I'm going to do. And today's liquid bronzer of choice is the Made by Mitchell blushes in Hello There and Shady Business. I mix the two on my Be Perfect palette because I'm such a professional like that. You can definitely go in straight away, however I just prefer the way it looks when you pick it up from the palette or from the back of your hand. That Shady Business, man, it's so good. Like, where did these cheeks come from, you know? And since I'm using blushes, I might just carry on. I'm going to take Peach Sugar and Mango Daiquiri, and I always put my blush that's a little too orange. More Peach Sugar. And now I look like a Russian doll. That's okay. I still have my foundation sponge and I still haven't done my concealer. It actually looks alright. Why am I panicking? Let's put some concealer on because I need it. I'm just taking a random concealer today to kind of match the colour of my face. This just happens to be that ABH one, which I'm not the biggest fan of, purely because it has creased on me. It has very nice coverage. Very nice coverage, this concealer. It's such a shame it creases though. Like, it creased immediately. I've just tapped it out. Let's prevent it from creasing even more. I'm taking my favourite Laura Mercier, and you know it, I'm leaving a gap immediately straight under my eye because I'm not finished with the eyes. And you know what? I like this so much that I might just set my forehead and leave everything else. I panicked and thought blush was a little too much, but now I feel like I need a little bit more blush, and I'm going to take my favourite ABH Peachy Love. Before I finish off my eyes, I want to do one last step, and that is highlight. I really enjoyed wearing a highlighter the other day, and I'm sort of back into it, do I want to say. I'm using a very small brush, and I'm going to work it in first. This is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Iced Highlighter. And then I'm using my sponge, my wet sponge, to work this in. Let's finish the eyes off. And typical of me, I want to go quite dark on the lower lid. I just like it that way. I'm going to start off with the blackest black. And I'm joining my upper and my lower lid with this shade. I'm going to take it about halfway. Last and final shade, I'm going to take Mist, that sort of bluey light grey, and I'm going to put this sort of remaining 1/3. Uh-oh, I definitely didn't want to do that. Let's kind of go with the flow here. I didn't expect this look to be so sort of blue hue. I know it's grey, but to me it looks a little blue. So I'm going to put a blue liner in the waterline just to kind of highlight that and just make it cohesive. The last and final thing I want to do with the eyes is do a liner, you know, that elongation, that cat eye. And I recently bought this set, the nail tools, and there's a brush in here that should be perfect. Makeup is a process. You have an idea and you have to adapt because you make mistakes, make the faces you need to make to get you where you want to be. That's such a good quote for life. Fake it till you make it. To be fair, that got me thinking, would you want me to make a video where I purposely make mistakes and like how to fix them? If there's any particular thing that you would want me to make a video on, like how to fix too much foundation on your face, how to fix a bad liner. I love these eyes. My mum is gonna love this look. Let's put some mascara on and some falsies to finish these eyes off. You know when women in movies say, I've got nothing to wear? That's me with lashes. I finally settled on a lash from Prima Lashes, the After Dark collection, and they are called Hit Me Up. I'm making 3/4 lengths with these and I'm sticking them underneath. I highly recommend doing this to your lashes. You want to trim them and get them exactly where you want them to be. I created like this very lifting cat eye effect with these lashes. I really like them. What lipstick should I use? I I was gonna go with red, but red will be a little too much, I feel like. Okay, I think a nude, like a pinky nude, so it's not boring, so it doesn't look exactly like the makeup look I did last week. I'm going to start off with Charlotte Tilbury. This is Pillow Talk lip liner. I'm lining my lips and I'm filling them in with this pencil. And because my Pillow Talk lipstick is downstairs, I'm just going to use something similar, and that is Super Cindy from Charlotte Tilbury. This is a little bit more sort of corally, but that's okay. I'm going to put it in the middle. I almost forgot to do my brows, but this is very boring. I'm using my staple products. I'm using ABH Brow Freeze and then ABH Brow Pomade. Okay you guys, so here it is. This is the final look I created today. A perfect New Year's Eve look with my new Natasha Denona Xenon palette that I got for Christmas from my mum. Thanks again, Mum. I love you. You're the best. You know me so well. I have to say, just a quick review. Overpriced. That's the only word I can describe it. The shimmer is absolutely stunning. So is it worth the money? Maybe. But it's definitely overpriced. The Blackest Black is probably not the blackest black I have ever had, although it's very nice. Blendability wise, I did struggle a little bit. However, I do have to say I had a lot easier time, a lot nicer time with this palette on this eye. So it was somewhat my fault that the base on this eye was a little bit too wet. So this is quite nice. However, it actually works better on a, like, maybe not powdered lid, but something that's a little bit more set, a little bit more matte. It just helps with the blending. When something's really wet, it sticks and it doesn't want to move. Okay, but that is it. I hope you like the look. I hope you have enjoyed 2021 as much as I did. Thank you so much for all the love and support. This year has been made by you, so thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to 2022. I'm making some New Year's resolutions and I hope you make them too. Even if you don't stick by them, at least you've made them, at least you've tried. Just make sure you're being the best person you can be. Spend time with family, just be happy because life is short. So yeah, I hope your 2021 was wonderful and 2022 will be even better. I shall see you next year. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best and I hope to see you next time.